pleasant evening, everyone. A pleasant evening, sir. So today we are going to discuss the SDG11 of UNESCO, which is the Sustainable Cities and Communities, in which its objective is to make cities and human settlements inclusion, safe, resilient, and sustainable.
Now, talking about this report's objectives, namely we have to define the role of education in achieving sustainable cities and communities, design and implement a sustainable community project that improves quality life in cities and communities. Lastly, develop a sense of responsibility and commitment in creating sustainable cities and communities. Now, let me ask you, what makes a sustainable city? A sustainable city is one that respects sustainable development, priorities from their social, economic, and environmental perspectives, that allows its inhabitants to live in good conditions and in harmony with their surrounding nature. These factors, which namely are social, economic, and environmental factors, will be later discussed further in this report.
However, there are factors that hinders this advocacy. First is social factor. There are four under in this factor. First is inequitable distribution of resources. This means that there is an equal distribution of resources such as education, healthcare, and access to healthy food can create disparities in health outcomes. The second one is social isolation. It means that there is lack of social networks, and social support can contribute to poor mental and physical health outcomes. The third one is discrimination. Discrimination based on race, ethnicity, gender, or other factors can negatively affect health outcomes as well. And the fourth one is crime and violence. High levels of crime and violence can lead to physical injury and mental trauma and negatively impact to community well-being.
The second factor is economic factor, which has namely poverty, unemployment and underemployment, lack of affordable housing, and limited access to transportation. Now let's talk about poverty. Living in poverty can limit access to healthy food, healthcare, and safe housing, and contribute to poor health outcomes. Ilhan mo po ni samot na sa kanabitaw mga dili bitaw big cities bitaw nga kintahay pareha diri sa among barangay bitaw ag mga kunuhay mas makadawat pag hinabang ag mga tao nga nay kaya kaysa sa mga tao nga pobre. So mao to siya usa ka factor. Second is unemployment and underemployment. Unemployment and underemployment can lead to financial stress and limit access to healthcare and other resources. So as I've said, sa murara sila connected sa poverty. Unemployment meaning walay trabaho, or underemployment siguro og maka work manggani is kanang anha ra jud sa low level, which is siguro dili sa ahong giubos ag mga construction worker yan na. So mao ra to siya example ra para naho. Third is lack of affordable housing. High housing costs can force people to live in overcrowded and unsafe conditions, which can negatively impact health outcomes. So ang mga tao bitaw nga nagpuyo sa mga unsa na para kanang mga eskinita ba kanang
squatters?
Mga squatter sa mga squatter area. So ato manggod ato naman nahibaw-an nga kanang di ba kay lagi dikit-dikit, so ang mga basura anak nila is murag gatapok na sa ilang lugar, so mo na affected ang SDG11 sa UNESCO. And lastly, limited access to transportation. Lack of affordable and accessible transportation can limit access to healthcare education, and unemployment opportunities. So, kani, dili man siguro ni kanang global na jud kay for me daghan na jud source of transportation like Uber, Grab, or bisan lang mga series or mga taxis ingana sa Philippines. So, next.
So the third factor is environmental factor or environment factor. Under the environment factor, nasa tay upat. First is air pollution. Poor air quality can contribute to respiratory illnesses and other health problems. So, familiar naman ang term, no? It's air pollution. So, makakos po kunin ni siya og health problems if mapadayon. So, ikaduha is water pollution. So, as to air pollution, kung hangin ang air pollution, water pollution is sa tubig sad. So, contaminated water can lead to illness and diseases. So, same rasad sa air pollution. Ikatulo is lack of green space. Limited access to parks and green spaces can contribute to stress, mental health problems, and obesity. So, usual naman nato no nga kintahay like stress ta, ganahan man ta magpuyo og lugar nga ato ta maka-unwind, maka-relax. So, if lack kuno ka og peace of mind, so og lack kuno ka og green space, makakos po na siya og stress or mental health problems sa society. So, maka-affect hapon siya sa SDG11 nga objectives. Ikaapat is climate change. So, it's very rampant today, the climate change, which means can lead to extreme weather events, natural disasters, and other environmental disruptions that can have negative health effects. For example, karon mo kalitrag init, bisag sayo, init na kaadyo, muuwan pa tsug pakalit. So, of course, mo affect yun as a health sa society.
In fact, nowadays, half of humanity, which is 3.5 billion people, live in cities. 828 million people live in slums. With this figure constantly increasing, the world's cities occupy just 3% of the Earth's land, but account for 60 to 80% of its energy consumption, and for more than 70% of its carbon emission. This means that daghan nagtawo nga nagpuyo sa mga syudad nga kanabitang ang ilang Pinoy is close to each other na ba, murag di pareha sa probinsya nga kitay bahay ni Miss Charlene is sa Purok 7, ja ako ang bahay is sa Purok 6. So murag dako siya gap, unlike sa cities nga kanang dikit-dikit. And some people live in cities but don't have good homes, and these are called slums. So unsa gali ng slum, partner?
Naglisod ka.
Naglisod og kanang
You are in condition nga naglisod ka.
mao na siya. And despite only occupying 3% of the Earth's land, so sa tibuok Earth kay ba naman sa grabe dud dako ang land, although mas dako ang water, bodies of water, or 3% ra sa Earth's land ag i-occupy sa mga tao. But ag atong kanabitang use or paggamit sa mga natural resources or energy sa Earth is dako ka, or more than average na kanang dapat ra i-spend nato. So also dako pod si jag consumption sa carbon emissions, and this is bad for the Earth.
So, sa nakadungog ta sa giingon ni Louie, therefore, the UNESCO, their organization, nagpropose sila by 2030 that almost 60% of the world's population will live in urban areas. However, in the next few decades, 95% of this urban expansion will take place in the developing world. So, how is it possible, and in what way nga makabot nato to nga objective sa UNESCO. So, there are several ways to attain SDG11, but this time, let us focus on how will education contributes sustainable cities and communities.
Okay. Why education is crucial in achieving SDG 11? So, nanatay question nganong importante ang education in achieving the SDG 11. Now, quality education provides the appropriate tools to ensure the monitoring development priorities from their social, economic, and environmental perspective that allows its inhabitants to live in good conditions. It also prepares communities to manage their resources properly and tackle issues thoroughly. Through participatory approaches, communities are engaged in discussions and planning activities for the improvement of their own cities. Now, what does this mean? So, going back sa first sentence, quality education provides the appropriate tools to ensure monitoring development priorities from their social, economic, and environmental perspective. So, anha palang daan, so ang education DI is mura silbig ato nang ibutang nga stepping stone or maoy makapa help kintahay mudong ka gera be musugot day ka nga wa kay pusil. So dapat jud ready ka sa proper tools para ma-ensure nimo ang pag-achieve sa imong goal, di ba? Sa second nga sentence, it also prepares communities to manage their resources properly and tackle issues thoroughly. So through education DI is murag mas ma-expand imong knowledge sa pag-manage sa mga butang nga angay
mahibaw-an.
Angay mahibaw-an. So and tackle issues thoroughly. So di ba ag uban bitaw basta maka-tackle na og stress partner, di ba kay murag ma-stress maka-tackle stress ug maka-tackle og problems, di ba kay murag ma-stress na maratol nga na. So through education mas mahimo kang experiencado nga inig-abot sa problems kay baw ka mo tackle sa issues, and not only nga mo tackle ra but tackle thoroughly. And through participatory approaches, communities are engaged in discussions and in planning activities for improvement of their own cities. So kana uso naman pud na sa bawat barangays is kana bitaw mga seminars ug unsa kanang recycle o unsa ba to sa atong barangay partner kanang di ba nay tulo ka basurahan recycle isa to
mga non-biodegradable.
So through education, and not only education kay everyday man na do new learning, so maoy rason nga nung importante ang education to achieve SDG 11.
And aside po na, the society is participative po siya sa community. Okay, so second is early childhood care and education. So it is the first stage of education. No? So children at this stage learn about natural cycles and systems. They are able to participate in eco-projects under adult supervision, thereby awakening their creativity and problem-solving abilities. At the same time, in a natural way, they learn to show empathy towards other people and their surrounding environment. So, usually, at what age ning early childhood care and education partner? At what age? So, napas bata-bata, like...
As long as kanang makasabot na sa right or wrong, or kanang bitaw na nadyo'y understanding bitaw nga ug unsay mga gipang explain nato, maka-comprehend na siya sa iyang mind. Bisag bata pa siya, goods na kado.
Okay. So, what is education? Unsay role sa education sa anak nga mga age? So, Through education, it promotes sustainable behavior by instilling sustainable practices such as recycling, composting, and conservation in young children. This can lay the foundation for environmentally conscious behavior later in life. So, through education, matudluan ko noong mga bata through recycling, of course, like ang papel, dili i-throw because pwede pa na siya gamiton. And composting, throwing the garbage properly. And conservation, like turning off the lights para ma-conserve na to ang energy. So, ikaduha is build social skills and community cohesion by fostering a sense of belonging and shared responsibility for the environment. This can help create a culture of sustainability in which individuals feel connected to their community and are willing to work together to achieve sustainable goals. So, aside from education nga magtudlo sa bata on how to recycle, compost, and conserve energy or resources on Earth, education pod mo help pod siya sa bata to foster the sense of belonging. And aside from that, kanang education will help students, these young ages to promote participation and unity to the community in order to achieve a sustainable goals. Additionally, education also develop critical thinking skills by encouraging children to question assumptions and to think creatively about solutions to sustainability challenges. This can lead to innovative ideas and approaches to sustainability. And last one is support parents and families by providing information and resources on sustainable practices such as energy conservation, water conservation, and waste reduction. This can help create a ripple effect of sustainable behavior throughout the community. So, sa gikaingon na ganiha, through education, help siya mo teach siya sa this young age on how to recycle and compost. And today, di ba, na-practice man nato ang throwing the garbage properly. So, if done so, we will have a sustainable community, and that's it.
So, we talk about education now. For us, there are types of education. The second stage of education is primary education. Now, what does this do? At this level, learners get acquainted with the nature and components of cities and of our basic needs as humans, including for food, housing, energy, transport, and water. So this means nga ang mga bata is kanang murag aware na sila sa unsay kinahanglan nato as humans. Siyempre nang hinanglan man jud tag food sa balay nga atong puy-an and energy, so kaning mga kanang suga, mga electricity nga na. So aware na ag bata. So dili raman ingon nga primary education na kanang elementary ra nga na. So all kids nga naanay buot bitaw makasabot na nani sila sa primary education. They develop their understanding of the multicultural natures of cities and towns while becoming aware of the importance of sustaining their immediate natural environment. So this sentence is self-explanatory na, so I will not explain it furthermore. Harita sa next. Additionally, primary education raises awareness about sustainability issues such as climate change, pollution, and waste management. By educating students about the importance of sustainability, they can become more conscious of their actions and work towards creating a sustainable future. So, kung ikaw, parent ka, or bisag dili pa, or naman jud kay kaila nga naapay bata, but it doesn't stop you nga kanang imong tudluan sa unsay sakto bitaw sa kintahay. Ag bata ini magkaon sa chichirya or candy, ag katong
Plastic.
o ag katong plastic, ilarang itsa bisag asa. So as kana bitaw nakakatanda bitaw, ay di man ingon nga kuan nga needed jud, pero I challenge you nga tudlo ang mata og unsay sakto. Kay if ang bata kanang magtubo nga balikog, so inigda ko ana balikog na dili na nimo ma-straight. So while ay samtang bata pa ug kaya pa itulid na to. So second is foster sustainable behavior by teaching students about the principles of reduce, reuse, and recycle. Mao ni akong gimin ganina partner nga recycle ra akong hinumduman. So na reduce, reuse, and recycle. Teachers can also encourage students to practice sustainable behavior by reducing their energy and water consumption, avoiding single-use plastics, and properly disposing of waste. So, kaming duha ni Charlene is education student man jud mi. So, murag challenge pud ni namo nga magtudlo pod sa mga mas nakabata namo to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Not only in terms nga sa plastic nga kanang dili sunugon or kanang bitaw og pwede pa ma-recycle
magamit pag utro.
Magamit pag utro, like for example kanang mga 1.5 bottles, di ba? I don't know lang sa inyong lugar, but in our place or locality is kanang mga plastic bottles tigumo na nila, and at the end of the year, which is kanang diha na nila ikuan sa Christmas, himuon nilang Christmas tree, tangan nilang lights. So di ba nagamit ra gyapon bisan siya sa uban murag dispose na or kuan na as basura, kanang sa tawag na kada basta basura na ag pagtan-aw sa uban, syempre kuan ra gyapon ma-recycle pa. Another addition in primary education, it develops critical thinking skills by encouraging students to analyze complex sustainability issues and consider various perspectives. Students can learn how to evaluate the impact of human activity on the environment and how to identify solutions to sustainable challenges. So, ari pa lang, as a student pod in Bohol Island State University, naapod ko kanang mga own opinions on how to attain or achieve the said SDG11. Pero of course, it starts from within. So wa na ko gi-practice, so mura ra pug wala, di ba? So in primary education, ma-develop ang critical thinking skills. So I'm sure niagi pud ko ani primary education where it developed my brain and thinking skills to analyze complex issues and consider various perspectives. Last, it promotes community engagement by encouraging students to participate in sustainability initiatives in their local communities. Students can learn how to work collaboratively to address sustainability challenges and make a positive impact in their communities. So, like I said ganina, nga if ako mismo nga kanang dili ko mag-practice sa unsay akong gi-report, so useless ra gyapon. So kani siyang primary education is murag challenge siya naho as a student nga mag-encourage og other people to participate in sustainability initiatives sa among lugar. Siguro magkuan kog project nga katulagi RRR, reduce, reuse, and recycle. So although siguro sa ubang pananaw sa tao is gamay ra, pero sa atong community di ay sa atong city, di ba, murag dako na siya big impact.
Dako na so, kabag-uhan.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So ikatulo nga stage of education is secondary education. So the understanding of basic human needs is deepened at this stage, as well as the knowledge of how these are addressed in local urban, peri-urban, and rural settlements. On this basis, students are capable of contextualizing these human needs within the needs of the greater surrounding ecosystems and become more interested in and responsible for protecting their immediate environment. So, in secondary education, this education is applicable siya sa mga hingkod na gunahuna. Okay, no? Hingkod na gunahuna because giingon na dire is
Depend.
there is a deepened thinking at this stage. And when we talk about deepened is that the student can think of deep solution or deep solution to address a certain problem in the society. So, with this through education, student can become more interested and responsible for protecting the environment immediately. Okay. So, additionally, in secondary education, it deepen knowledge about sustainability issues by exploring topics such as biodiversity loss, renewable energy, and sustainable development. Students can develop a more in-depth understanding of the causes and consequences of sustainability challenges and different approaches that can be taken to address them. So, gikaingon na ari is there is a depth understanding. So, like for example, we are going to address the issue about the air pollution. So, as a hingkod panghuna-huna, I believe nga kita in our age, in our level of education, we are hingkod enough to think deeply kung saan pag-address o ang maong issue. So, ikaw, Louie, what's your, as a hingkod nagpanguna-huna, what's your
Insight.
or your insight or idea on how to address air pollution?
Air pollution, well, in my own opinion, I think we should lessen the use of kanang gas emitting nga vehicles and go to a more suitable approach nga electric cars. Although wala pa na kaadyo na implement sa atong country for me mo to'y murag usa sa mga ways nga kanang malesen ang air pollution.
Okay, well said. So, aside pud ada is that, so aside from kitang mga hingkod ug gunahuna is we are able to think deeply about the issue, we are also capable of doing the action to solve the issue. So, ikaduha, develop skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and collaboration, which are crucial for addressing sustainability challenges. Students can learn how to analyze complex sustainability issues, evaluate different solutions, and work collaboratively to implement sustainable practices. So, sa gikaingon na ganiha, like aside from thinking deeply or thinking a most significant and effective strategy or way of addressing the issue about the addressing the issue towards our community. So, through education pod is that maka-evaluate ta sa mga solution nga through collaboration. And I believe nga sa atong age, daghatag mga kaila, daghatag mga organization nga pwede na ito maapilan. Like for example, in our locality, we have here a Rotaract in Ubay. So this organization aims to improve the society by having a seminars, having a symposiums about like addressing environmental issues, and more. So, that's it. And additionally pa jud, in secondary education, promote leadership by encouraging students to take an active role in sustainability initiatives in their local communities. Students can learn how to communicate their ideas effectively, mobilize others to take action, and create meaningful change. So, sa related din sa akong giyon ganiha, like for example sa Rotaract in Ubay, so we have here the collaboration through education, maka-collaborate ta sa uban. And tungod kay hingkod man ta, because we are in the stage of secondary education, we are good enough to share our thoughts sa mga maguwang nato nga nagda sa maong like organization. So with that, we have the combination of thoughts nga mas mapa-address pa nato or mas masulbad pa nato ang maong issue. And last one is encourage innovation by providing opportunities for students to explore and experiment with new sustainable technologies and practices. Students can learn how to design and implement innovative solutions to sustainability challenges and contribute to the development of sustainable cities and communities. Okay,
So, by incorporating sustainable education, we are able to first empower young people to become agents of change in their communities and beyond, and create a more sustainable future for all.
And create a generation of environmentally conscious citizens who are equipped with the knowledge and skills to create a sustainable future for all. So that's how education influence and help students to address environmental issues, social issues, economic issues towards the SDG11, which is the sustainable cities and communities.
And before we leave, we would like to
leave a
simple quote
from Howard Zinn,
saying, "We don't have to engage in grand heroic actions to participate in change. Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world."
Yes, so that would be all. Thank you and
have a pleasant evening.
Thank you.